Hi guys, M.V.K here. How's everybody doing? Welcome back to the opinion spot. This is the first opinion spot of the new year. And for all new subscribers out there, the opinion spot is one of my longest running segments that I've done on this channel. And it's still going strong. I still have ideas, and it's basically taking a topic. This is for new subscribers only who don't know. Take a topic, I give my opinion on it, and then I wait and wait to hear what your opinions are on the subject, as always. And the slogan is always for the opinion spot, your opinion matters. That's just a slogan I came up with, kind of, in a sense. But I'm getting a lot of opinions, questions, people PMing me, whether it's here on Facebook or even on personal messaging me on Twitter. Got a couple on Tumblr too. And everybody's wondering how am I feeling about uh, the superhero movies that are coming out for 2K16, 2016, or 2016, whichever one you prefer. And I'm I had always planned to do this. I was like, you know what? Let me give a little bit of 411 or a little bit of my thoughts on the eight. Technically, there are eight superhero movies that are coming out for the year of 2016, and out of eight of them, I think seven of eight I'm interested in seeing. Um, and basically, like I said, I'm just gonna give my little bit of thoughts on each one of them. I look at the superhero movies as being the home run derby, or kind of like we the fans are the opposing team, they're the home team, and they're the batters up, and basically a homer is their job is to beat us and sell their product. So I kind of look at it like that, though, like a home run derby or a game. And out of the eight movies, like I said, I'm gonna talk about seven of them. One of them I won't be including because, like I said before, that I have no interest in seeing that movie. And everybody who knows me should know what that is. So I don't need to go into detail about that. Okay, but let's talk about this. Let's get into details. Let's get into this, shall we? So the first batter up would be Deadpool. Yeah, Deadpool. Deadpool comes out actually next month. Actually, goddamn, next month. Um, Now, everybody who knows me knows I have never ever been the biggest Deadpool fan. Everybody who's seen knows me or watched my comic reviews. You know I don't really review solo Deadpool runs. I don't even have them in my collection. I have no Deadpool comics in my collection. I was never the biggest Deadpool fan. I read them, and but you also get that line of never was the biggest fan of him, but I respect that character. Nah, not really. That's never been my motto with Deadpool either. His biggest claim to fame has been he breaks the fourth wall, and the thing is, there were characters doing that before him, but for some reason he got over with that so well, and But I will say Joe Kelly is probably the best guy to write Deadpool, no doubt about it. But we saw our first interpretation of the character in the comedy known as Wolverine Origins. And I instantly thought Ryan Reynolds, as much I love that guy, I respect that guy, he was perfect for that role. He was perfect. But unfortunately, they did a swerve and that turned out to be shit. So we waited and waited, and then we started hearing word that there's a Deadpool movie, a script being scripted, and then it got rescripted, and then it got rescripted again, and then you hear Mr. Reynolds talking about that it's gonna be legit, it's gonna be Deadpool that we know, and then we started hearing, but then the more questions started coming up about, is it gonna be is this going to be in the X-Men universe or not? Is it going to be just a standalone, or is it? And then also the biggest question was that was coming out was also what was the rating going to be? That was the other thing. And Mr. Reynolds fought very hard to get it to be a rated R. So we he really was like he's gonna go for it. And this is from a guy who, at the time, you got to remember, after Green Lantern, guys, all his movies, and I felt really sorry for him too. It was like every movie he was coming out with was tanking at the box office. And I still have not seen his latest movie that he did with Sir Ben Kingsley, but a friend of mine, she saw it. She said it was really good. She said it's something up my alley that I would like, and I still need to see it. So I'll order it. I'll watch it on demand or something like that when I get the chance. But once that first trailer came out, I watched it, and you get to see him in costume. The costume is spot on. And you get him in that costume, and you get him, and it was just like I was sold on that first trailer. I was like, he nailed it. And then we get the second trailer, and that second trailer easily, I watch that trailer nearly every day, and that trailer right there just not even sold me on it because I was already sold. It was like a sealed approval, like that seal's not coming off. So even though I'm not the biggest Deadpool fan, guys, I definitely want to see this. And I also applaud it. If you watch my reaction vid, you'll see straight up legit. The one thing also I must applaud them on is how do they get a character so right in one movie that failed in 4 other movies? And I'm talking about Colossus. They got Colossus right in one movie and all his movies that came before. And don't get me wrong, David Colmore, I thought he was good, but it was just like he didn't talk too much. When he did talk, you were just like, eh. And it felt like when he put on his mutated armored skin, it was just like it just looked like he's just got steel skin on. What happened to Colossus? Has always been that character. Is that prior to the skin, he's about 6'7", 6'5", 6'8". But once he metals up, he grows at least another foot. So, and he's supposed to be, and they got that right in that one trailer. But instantly, this movie looks like it's gonna nail the character. I think it's gonna sell well. But the one thing I think that scares me personally is that it's a rated R movie. Rated R movies and superhero movies don't really mesh so well. And do your research, and you'll see over the course of superhero movies that were rated R don't really fare too well at the box office. But this could be that, like, that was then, this is now. So this one, I feel, this batter up definitely is going to knock it out of the park. So yeah, definitely, I feel Deadpool definitely is going to, he's the first one up for 2016. He's going to nail it. It's going to nail it. So, and that's February. And then by the time of March comes, a day after my birthday, March 25th, we get Batman v Superman. I still don't like the name, Dawn of Justice. Still don't like the name. This is another Grand Slam. I'm not even. It's going to be a Grand Slam. Mostly on the fact that, first of all, this will be the first time in history of these characters in cinema we're getting them both on the same screen at the same time, toe to toe, together. And then not only do you add those two icons, but then you add the queen of all superheroines herself, Diana, to the map. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is where my interest for that movie really is more on her. And I've applauded that they've kind of kept her kind of secret. Like we don't know too much about. We see her in teasers, but we don't really see how she's gonna sound, how when she speaks, how will she talk, things like that. It's more of like, okay, she's still kind of top secret. Though this that next trailer showed way too much, I still want to see it on the count of definitely Diana is the first, but then this is also kind of that focal point of like how the Marvel movies were for building up to Avengers. This is that point that builds up to the Justice League movie. So I definitely feel that this is another one this is gonna knock it out of the park. I'm still not too crazy. I'm not sold on Eisenberg as Luthor. Um, I don't like the look of Doomsday. I think that was too obvious who it was going to be. But Snyder said that we're going to see the main villain of the Justice League movie in this movie. I'm gonna hold you to that. I'm gonna be looking for it. We're gonna see, I think, Flash makes an appearance, Aquaman, and Cyborg. Still, that's another character I'm still not sold on in terms of a solo movie, as well as just I really wish he wasn't a part of the Justice League. Cyborg to me has always been standard Titan. I grew up with the Wolfman Perez Teen Titan run. That's my baby. So when you see those, and that's it. Not Cyborg on the Justice League, but we'll see where it goes from there. But definitely, this is gonna knock it out of the park, and I'm looking forward to seeing the chemistry between Mr. Cavill and Mr. Affleck. Just seeing how they work. But I think the other thing is, I think people need to really kind of calm down on. Oh, we're gonna see them fight. It's like, yeah, but you gotta remember, there's still a clear-cut villain in this. So you gotta remember that. But definitely, this is it's gonna, it's gonna nail it. It really is, uh, very much. And then the next one in terms of heroes versus heroes, May comes around and we get the first kickoff of the Marvel Cinematic Universe Phase 3 movies with Captain America Civil War. As you all know, most of my subscribers, you guys know I'm not the biggest. Civil War is not my favorite story arc, story arc, whatever. I'm not the biggest fan of that arc. I'm not really big into heroes fighting each other. I never have been. But the story is continuing where Winter Soldier left off, still directed by the Russo brothers. They did such a great job with Winter Soldier, and to me, um, once again, this is still building up, and it's gonna have the Cap versus Tony, but more importantly, we also get to see the debuts of other certain characters, including T'Challa, Black Panther, making his debut. Chadwick Boseman is going to play him, and just seeing him in action a little bit on that trailer is beautiful. And we're also going to get to see Tom Holland make his debut as Spider-Man. And but the trailer really sold me. I was really much in tune there, but I have been getting a lot of questions like, whose side are you on, Chris, and everything like that. um, Honestly, I really don't really have a side, but when I look at the trailer, I am kind of siding a little bit more with Steve. You know, I know a lot of people. Read a lot of, I felt for Tony, and that's true. I did feel when he was, Steve says, I'm sorry, Tony, but I wouldn't do this, but he's my friend, and it's like, and Tony says, so was I, and it's like, but then it's also to the point I look at it, and I've said this to a couple of friends, but I'm like, Tony, you got to realize they grew up together. You're just like a friend a new age friend. these guys are like blood brothers. So and it's almost like Tony should put himself in Steve's shoes in a sense, be like, that was Rhodey, would he be doing the same thing? Stuff like that. But the trailer was good, and once again, everybody's all they're gonna fight everything like that. But you gotta also remember, yes, there is a there are clear cut villains in this, and yes, Marvel has not really done a good job with villains in the movie side. So, having said that, Crossbones and Baron Zemo really gotta step up. I really wish Marvel wasn't afraid of Mask. I really wish they weren't, because I'd love to see Baron Zemo in this famous mask. He's not gonna be in it. But this is another movie I feel, since it comes out in May, and there's gonna be that gap between Superman and this. This is another home run. People. This is gonna bring it in. You know, you know, where do people stand? How is this also the reason I'm looking at is, how is this going to affect the outcome of what happens next? Will the Avengers will they disband, or will they crumble? And I keep saying that this is probably going to be the perfect time for a certain Mad Titan to come down, and you know what? So it also plays up that factor. But I think definitely Civil War is really gonna knock it out of the park. I trust the Russo brothers. They haven't let me down. Do I feel that there's gonna be a death in this movie? No, I don't. So if everybody's like, Cap's gonna die, I doubt it. He's one of my favorite characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Chris Evans just nails that character. I like him more over RDJ as Tony Stark. And here's a guy who has said to Marvel he wants to continue playing Captain America. We haven't heard any of that coming out of RDJ's camp, you know. So you gotta look at it from that point of view. But I don't think anybody's gonna die. I think personally, this is just me because this is just me. I think Bucky's gonna fake his death again and go underground and work from the shadows, and we're gonna see a somewhat version of the Secret Avengers at the end of Civil War. I'm just thinking out loud. That I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But Civil War definitely it's gonna nail it, guys. Believe it or not, believe it. So far, the Marvel movies, despite some people not liking them, this one is good, but they sell. They sell. People always are looking forward to what's the next Marvel movie, and so yeah, it's gonna be good. And then after that, we we get another movie in May. The next X-Men movie, X-Men Apocalypse. Now, despite everything that, he doesn't, I'm forgetting the actor who's playing Apocalypse. He doesn't look like Apocalypse. He's too small, or he doesn't sound more devious and things like that. So far, think about it, guys. Since Singer has come back after Vaughn started the prequels, they have been very good. And I have no doubt that this is going to be good. It's going to have competition because it comes out May 27th. Cap comes out May 8th. So there's going to be like pretty much a gap, but I still think it's going to be like, and then probably still add in the Batman and V. They're going to be like neck and neck going at it. But so far, Singer being back with the X-Men franchise has been good. And this was a character we all been wanting to see in live action. We've all said it. We want to see Apocalypse. Enough of the Magneto stuff. We've seen that. You know, and we've been wanting to see new characters, and we started to get new characters. They kind of screwed up with Sebastian Shaw, and they not kind of, they did. They screwed up with Sebastian Shaw. Really, I was disappointed with that. They did the Sentinels finally. We got the Sentinels, or as I call them, the Super Adaptoids. You know, and those are fine. I really wish it was Master Mold in there, but hey, maybe we'll see him sometime in the future. Him would be cool too. But now we get kind of one of the first mutants, and he builds his new four horsemen here, and he has Magneto, Archangel, Storm, and Psylocke um, as his four horsemen, and it's up to the. And this is taking place in the 80s. I believe it's 1983. So my time, my era. So stuff that's going to be going on in there. If they start showing, I'll know everything that's going on in there. Like, it's going to be. And besides, it'd be good to see my Genie again. I'm a huge Jean Grey fan, always have been, and I am excited for it. Because it's like McAvoy and Fassbender to me, have done great jobs playing the characters of Professor Xavier and Magneto. You know, um, the only problem I can see with it that really kind of, because I got over the Apocalypse stuff real quick. The only thing that really bothers me is that they're back in those goddamn black costumes again. I'm like, oh, really? Like, we couldn't get their, like, a certain look? I mean, I would have loved to see Jean in her Marvel Girl look. Maybe an up-to-date version of it, but I would have loved to seen it. I would have loved to see Cyclops in his kind of his old school retro costume, but we don't get to see that. It's just you know. But other than that, this is gonna sell. This is another one that's gonna sell. I'm hoping that it'll surpass Days of Future Past. But finishing, Singer can say he finished. They can finish the trilogy, I guess, and move on to whatever comes next. Fox, like I said before, Fox can keep the X-Men franchise. There's no real place for the X-Men in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, in my opinion, is because the Inhumans now kind of represent mutants in a sense. So they can stay where they are unless they make a deal like Sony and them did, and I can still see that X-Men are just in a different. They can go multiverses, like in a different universe. Okay, I don't know, but I think they're gonna. It's gonna nail it. It really is. It's another homer. I don't think it's gonna be like a. If we're going baseball terms, I don't think it's gonna be like a double, you know, a base hit or something like that. I think it's gonna be another homer. So yeah, I think it will be. I think it's gonna be pretty damn good. Um, After that, there's a movie in June that deals with another comic characters that I love, but I don't give a damn about it. Don't care, so we'll move on. And you should all know what it is. So let's just move on from there. Then in August, we get this one. Honestly, guys, I will say honestly, this one may sell. I but I don't think it's gonna do as well as the prior movies that came out before it. Because this is kind of an all new territory for the average moviegoer who never really heard of these characters. You know, we know these characters, but the average movie, they're not. But I think the selling point of this, in my opinion, is one Miss Margot Robbie, who is playing Harley Quinn. We have always wanted to see Harley in live action, and I think it's her that's really going to sell it. And I think the other one is the other curiosity why people are going to see this is also of Jared Leto's, how is his interpretation of the legendary character known as the Joker going to play off, you know? And personally, from personal experience, watching that trailer, I was very uncomfortable when him just talking and him just saying, "I'm not going to kill you. I'm just going to hurt you, really, really." And I felt really uncomfortable watching that. Now, and I've said this before, and I've told friends this: if you could do that, if you could make me feel uncomfortable playing the character, because that's the Joker. You're really supposed to feel uncomfortable around this guy. You sold me on it. I don't care about. He's got tattoos. He's got kind of grills and everything. He looks very different from the traditional Joker, but he kind of sold me. And of course, Miss Davis's role as the bitch, and Amanda Waller. You know, good casting. But and don't get me wrong, I love Big Willie. Don't worry, but him as Deadshot, cool. But it's not him that I'm really. It's really Margot Robbie. That's one of the reasons why I want to see it is because of her. Because I want to see her perform as Harley. That's the real interest for me to see it. You know, but the plot still kind of, we don't know really too much of the plot. What's going on. Captain Boomerang's in it. I really wish Katana wasn't in it. I'm like, what is she doing on there? I think Croc is going to turn a lot of people off because that's not the Croc that, he looks like a normal man. Um, I think Enchantress is going to get people really like, what the fuck? That's going to, but, you know, it is what it is. I don't think it's necessarily, I think personally, it's going to be like a uh, a double, meaning it's going to get two bases or so. I think it's going to earn back the money it took to make it, but and I could be wrong. This is my opinion, guys, but I don't think it's going to be a grand slam like Superman and them on. And the rest of the movies, I think that it's going to do fairly well. It's going to strike some interest in these characters, but I still think the major selling point is Harley. Harley is really gonna, people are gonna be like, that's that movie with Harley Quinn in it, right? I love Harley Quinn. I want to see that. I want to see if you're one of those people out there that just wants to see it for her, then go see it. Go support it for her. You know, I'm looking forward to seeing Miss Robbie perform as this character too. I love Harley, and I want to see how she plays this role. You know, so yeah, I think this is going to be the one that's going to interest people to go see, but I don't think it's going to be like it's going to break records. I really don't. That's just me. Um, and then of course the next movie, which they said is scheduled, is in October of 2016, and that's the Gambit movie, Remy LeBeau, the Raging Cajun. Channing Tatum is still attached to doing the movie, and I have no problems with Channing Tatum. I never have. I just think sometimes he's casted in some roles that you just kind of like, scratch your head a little bit. Like, really? For me personally, I was not really sold on him playing Duke. I was like, they could have got somebody else for Duke. I'm a G.I. Joe fan, so it's like, Duke? No, not really. But this, some people say, what can Gambit? Gambit can't really tell him. That's not true. They can really go deep into the Guild of Assassins, the Guild of Thieves, the you know Gambit and his relationship with Belladonna. That their marriage was they could play the movie off being like almost a little bit of a Romeo and Juliet, like the Mercutios and the basically, you know, supposed to bring the guilds together. Um, get a little bit interest, maybe a little bit in the mysticism, and stuff. But the main gist for me personally is the fact that I want them to do Gambit right. I love Gambit. He's one of my favorite X-Men, and I want to see him done right and respectfully, to the point of, like, for one thing for sure is his eyes. If I don't see that his eyes are black and red or pinkish the whole movie, I'm gonna be a little disappointed. I don't want to see his eyes only turn that color when he's about to use his powers. We've seen that before in the comedy, and I don't want to see that again. When personally, when he charged up his kinetic energy and throws it with his card, I don't want to see cards like almost getting absorbed on the people and the boop, 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 and then blows up. It should be like a bomb. Whop, throws, boom, blows up. That's how it's supposed to be, not from the comedy we saw. You know, also show his skills with the staff. Show his agility. I think his look, Gambit's look, is not hard to pull off. And being that Tatum has grown up in that area of New Orleans and things like that, I think his dad is from New Orleans. I think he's got that feel of what it would be like to be a thief, mutant thief, growing up in New Orleans. But I think the biggest thing is also figure out, who's the villain going to be. Is there going to be a villain? But we don't really know too much about it, but we do know that it was pushed to 2016 instead of, it was supposed to come out last year. But this will be the third or second solo of a character that's in the X-Men universe. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Call me too much of a loyalist to Gambit or not, guys, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And then we get the second movie, the last movie of 2016, superhero movie of 2016 would be the big one, another big one, because this character makes his debut, and we're talking none other than the Sorcerer Supreme himself, Doctor Strange. And we've already seen stills of what Mr. Cumberbatch is going to look, and I swear to God, when I saw how he's looked, I nearly fainted, because it was like, oh my God, he looks like, it was like right out of the comic. They got the cloak of levitation right. I was like, oh my God, it looks perfect. He's doing the hand gestures. He's got the blue and the belt and the look. He's got the streaks of gray. It was just like, wow. And I keep saying that this movie's gonna introduce so much, and it should be the catastrophe for more supernatural characters in the Marvel Universe to come out, like a Damian Hellstrom, a Ghost Rider, a Blade, talking that this is going to play up magic and different worlds and stuff like that. It's like, I'm so looking forward to this. This is another one of those movies that you want it to succeed, because it's like, new character, bam, all right, go. Doctor Strange, go. Now we get Doctor Strange, we get the Sorcerer Supreme, we get magic. Now some people say, oh, but Thor is kind of wrapped in the magic too. Nah, not really. See, Thor, they put a little too much of science and sci-fi with Thor, and Thor is supposed to be more magical as well, but the fact that they made the Asgardians like alien instead of them being gods and all that other stuff, this is really going into magic, sorcery, dark arts, black magic. All these. I want to see all that. So far we know that uh, I'm forgetting the actor's name who played Hannibal. Um, he is going to be the main villain. We don't know what character he's going to play. I'm not sure if he's going to be Dormammu. I still think save Dormammu for later. I still think he could be Nightmare, maybe Fisto. That'd be great. Rachel. Oh God, what's her name? I'm forgetting her name right now, but she.
She's gonna play an acquaintance, somebody. Basically, I think she's playing night nurse, the real night nurse. So um, that's gonna be interesting too. But I'm looking forward to that because that comes out in November, and that'll be the second of Phase 3 movies, and that'll be all the movies, superhero movies for 2016. So, guys, I gave you my thoughts on the 7 of 8 of the superhero movies that are coming out this year. What do you guys think of them? How do you feel about them? Do you agree with my opinion on them? Do you, or don't you agree? If you have your own opinion, feel free to give it to me. I'm looking forward to it. But as always, guys, this is Mama Kid. Peace, one love. Stay tuned for real, guys. This is the opinion spot where your opinion matters. Thank you for watching. Take care.